Hi there, my name is Bradley Leverett, and I will be giving you a brief introduction on how to get started with your AirBeamMini. We'll be covering four main topics, and those will consist of a brief introduction and device overview, kind of really telling you what are the pieces of the AirBeamMini and how to get started with them, setting up and connecting. So this is a mobile phone-based app that you will be connecting to. Even if you are setting it up with your home Wi-Fi, you do need the cell phone app to get started with the device. Um, Using the device and collecting the data. So kind of what does the day-to-day look like of actually using the device and monitoring the data that you're collecting, and then how do you share the data with others? And then lastly, we're just going to be going over some maintenance and troubleshooting with the device. I've used it now for a little while and haven't run into a ton of issues, but just some brief maintenance and troubleshooting that you can possibly do on your own should you need it. So to get us started, what is the AirBeamMini? It's a portable air quality monitor that measures fine particulate matter. It's a finer kind of pollution that not all monitors kind of look for, but this one really specializes in. What is the purpose of it? It aids in the tracking of air pollution exposure in real time using an app on your phone. So a really cool thing about this is you don't have to wait till it's actually finished. You can monitor the air quality that you're currently in real time using your cell phone through the device, which is really nice. When and where to use it. It can be used both inside and outside as a stationary or mobile tool. So it can be hooked up outside of your house and just continue to collect data, or you can strap it to your backpack and take it on a walk with you. It really is a nice um, tool for collecting air quality data no matter where you are, and has a design that's very useful and just kind of putting it on yourself as you're walking around. Um, so really quick, we'll go over some of the pieces to the actual monitor itself. You'll see in the image to the bottom right, you'll see the power button. You'll see the USB-C port. That is how you charge the device. Your device should come with a USB to charge. And then you'll see the sensor intake and exhaust. So the one thing that's important about this is to not block either of those areas, or else you could get incorrect readings, just because that is where it's intaking the air and then also where it's allowing the air to exit. So blocking either of those could mess with the actual sensor itself and make it so that its readings are off. There are also two indicator lights at the top of the device. When you turn on the device, you will see a green light come on. And then while the device is charging on this side, you will see a blue light that's either flashing or it will just stay on. Once it is just on and it's on the charging port, that's how you know it's fully charged. You do not need to take the device out of its protective sleeve to turn it on. You just find the power button on the side here. Make sure to press it nice and hard until that green light comes on. It is a little difficult to press through the case, but you do not need to take the case off to actually use the device. It's kind of hard to take the case off, so I would recommend just leaving the case on entirely. Moving forward, setting up and connecting. So we just went over the power button, kind of press and hold in until you see that green light stay on. That's how you know it's on. And then you just do the same to turn it off. Once you've actually downloaded the app, you can start seeing things within the app. Um, there are two types of sessions. There's a mobile session as well as a fixed session. The mobile session uses Bluetooth going to your phone, and then the fixed session connects to your Wi-Fi and then is able to communicate back to the app using the Wi-Fi. So once you open your app, you'll see this image below where you'll see kind of just a couple of general things. Really easy way to get started to begin with is to press that arrow that's down in the center of the screen. So first we'll be going over a Bluetooth based session. So first thing you're going to want to do is press that plus button. And then if you're using Bluetooth-based monitoring, you want to press the mobile session. After you have pressed the mobile session, you will then hit Bluetooth device. And then you will be prompted to power on your AirBeam. So that is when you want to go ahead and press that in. And you see that green light right in the top there. And I will actually pull it up right now. I just got to the screen that said power on your AirBeam, and now it's powered on. I now see within my phone that it's showing up as a device, as you will see in the next box. You then press the device you want to pair with, and you hit the connect button. And once that light goes blue on the side, you now know that your device is actually successfully connected to the phone. And you will be prompted with an AirBeam connected window that is very similar to the power on your AirBeam window, just says AirBeam connected. After that, you will want to go through and type in your session name and then any tags you may want to place with it. So tags are just an easy way for once you actually publish the information that you've collected, it's an easy way for users on the website to locate data that they're looking for. So if it's the city you want to tag, if it is a specific street you want to tag, if it's a specific environmental event you want to tag, whether that be a wildfire or a really hot day, you can use those to tag it, and it will just be easier on the backside for people who are looking for that data to end up finding it. You will then, after finishing that, you will hit continue and then be prompted with an Are You Ready page. It will show you a generalized area of where you are on a map, and that is just to make sure that it's connected to the right device and that it is picking up the correct location correctly. And so once that looks all good, you can hit continue, and then you will be brought to your dashboard page where you will actually start getting to see real-time data that is coming through minute by minute. And you will be able to look at both a map version view of the data that you're collecting, as well as a graph view that will show you a graph of over time the data that you're collecting in real time, which has been really useful for myself. As I know if I'm walking specifically next to a street and walk away from the street, I can pull up the map view and actually see where peaks in air quality are and where downfalls in air quality are, which is a really cool thing to be able to see in real time and also know kind of what areas to avoid if you're looking to avoid that air pollution. Once you're actually finished receiving all that information, there are three dots at the top of that box, and you can press those. And you will have three choices. You can hit finish recording session, enter standalone mode, or add a note. So a note can be added just if something specific happens that you want to take note of, it will make a note of it. Enter standalone mode will have it just record data to itself and not be real time transmitting to your device. And then once you end it, it will transfer that information over, or you can finish recording session. Once you finish your recording session, it will disconnect from the device automatically and you can turn the device off. And that is how to record for the Bluetooth based. Sorry. For stationary, it's pretty similar. Not too many major differences. Instead of selecting mobile, you'll select fixed session. Once again, you'll be prompted to input the name of the session and any tags you want to add, and then it will ask you for a Wi-Fi network name and password. So make sure that whatever Wi-Fi you are looking to put it on, that you are able to insert those, both the username and the password in there, and then you can hit continue. and then it will ask you for an address that you are recording for. So since it is not using the Bluetooth, it does need an actual address to be able to know the specific location that it is recorded, and it won't follow the device around if it moves. So this is really for hanging it up in a window or outside, and just letting it record data in one area. This is not for recording both geographical data as well as air pollution data. This is only for that air pollution data. And then once you hit continue after that, you will once again have that box that is gathering data and will appear every 3 minutes, I believe, about for the stationary session, and in real time be communicating back with the app. And then once again, you are prompted with add a note, enter standalone mode, or finish recording session. And so once you're finished with the session, you can finish the recording session, and it will disconnect the AirBeam, and then you can turn it off, charge it, whatever you need to do. All right, but what is this data that we're actually looking for? So there are a couple of really cool things that we are able to get from this. For the mobile sessions, it is very useful because this data not only gives us the measurements throughout time, but it actually also gives us a latitude and longitude, which then, from just a raw data perspective, we are able to view that data on a map. And another nice part about it is you can share that data, and then use their website to look at it in a more enhanced view, as well as you can go on their website and search up other data points. So, say you had a really bad air quality data day. Today, you can look in a neighboring community and see if it was also the same for them, and see kind of what these isolated events look like. The website is super useful, even if you don't have an AirBeam yourself and just want to check air quality, because it has communal data from up and down the state that is really useful to just look at it on a day-to-day basis if you're trying to look for any air quality data, specifically having to do with particulate matter. And then some just troubleshooting points. First off, charging and battery care. Recharge it regularly to maintain battery life, and don't leave it plugged in overnight. That's just kind of a general rule for any device. Leaving it plugged in for longer than it needs to is not necessarily great for the battery life. Um, so just be mindful of that while charging. Cleaning and storing the device. Use a dry cloth for external cleaning. Store in a dry place where, when not in use, and then keep a proper distance from specifically dusty areas. So the device is supposed to be used for collecting pollutants, but an overwhelming amount of pollutants and just dust and particles going through the device may decrease its lifespan, just because it is intaking all of that bad stuff. And so that all running through the device at one time can harm it. So just keep it away from specifically dusty areas if possible. Common issues and solutions: device isn't connecting, restart the Bluetooth and the app, or restart your recording device. No data recording. Make sure that your Aircasting app has permission to actually record data. So it will prompt you to accept or deny the Aircast the first time you use it. So just make sure you're hitting yes to those icons and whatnot. And then the battery not charging, try another cable or outlet. It's always very possible for something to be going wrong in that realm. And then where to find support and resources. The Habitat Map website, as well as the Aircasting community forums, are great places to come to if you're having issues with the device. So always feel free to reach out if you're having any issues with your Aircast. All right, and that was my last slide for you all. So thank you all for listening, and thank you for taking time to monitor the air around you, as it's a super important issue that we're facing today. And honestly, a a larger health risk as well. So thank you for taking some time to monitor the air around you, and I hope that you have a great experience with the Aircast.